and welcome into Getting Help from Uncle Sam, or as we say in the state of Alabama, getting help from Auntie Alabama. The elections are about 2 weeks away from us now, and I have with me Charlotte Meadows, and you are currently in the House of Representatives, District 74.
I am the incumbent.
Which is kind of a brand new district. They kind of did a little bit of gerrymandering there, and I guess.
We did redraw the districts
Yes.
last year in November, and my district changed a good bit. I kept 3 precincts that I had, and then I have really 5 new ones.
That's
so
good.
Those are great districts or precincts for us to walk in. We've enjoyed walking in those neighborhoods. One of them is actually the precinct that I started voting in 1980. So it's my home.
Your old stomping grounds, as they say.
Old trick-or-treat ground is what I really say. But
yep. And when we keep track through our show of what's happening in the legislature, and I will say this, you've done what you promised to do, you've done in your job right now. So we applaud you for that. And what do you think's happening in the state of Alabama now that needs to be addressed?
The biggest one that I'm very passionate about is education.
Yes.
The governor has said that she wants to really focus on education in this next quadrennium. And I applaud her for that. I wish we'd done that before. But if I'm there, I will certainly join with her and so many others around the state that are very understanding of the fact that education drives our economy.
It drives everything.
It does.
Yes.
It drives the success of a family. If a child is doing well in school, the whole family can succeed and prosper. If a child is struggling in school, then that affects the whole family, including the work and the work that the parents do for their employer. It just really tends to drag a family down. So our education is very important, and that's something I'm focused on.
And plus the fact you said about the prisons first on, and if you don't have a good education, chances of you wind up in prison
are much
escalate.
greater. Exactly.
They really do.
So education really is an engine that drives everything in the state. And it's something that I think we have not focused fully on, the fact that we're not doing as well as we should be, and we can do better.
Do you think education's top heavy? And what I mean by that is when you look at funding, it seems like we have all these bureaucracies. I'm a great believer in the teachers should be paid good money and put the best in the classroom and expect the best.
And I totally agree with you there. I talked to a constituent at his door the other day, and he was suggesting that we really focus on bringing the best teachers and specifically putting them in some of our lowest performing school systems. And we've not done that because we have all this, we give people the opportunity to choose where they want to work. But if we were to say, all right, we're going to target these areas that are really the lowest performing and make sure that they have some of the best teachers that are available, then we might really start to see some improvement. And I thought, well, that's a really great idea. We do have some funding from the federal government that we can use. It'll run out. But if we could start to focus on those really needy positions, needy locations, really talking about the Black Belt and some of the urban schools that are the least successful, and then we could really start to raise from the bottom. The best school systems, we probably don't need to do much to help them. We've got some great school systems.
Right, we do.
We don't need to fool with those. But the ones that we need to focus on, I think there's a lot more that could be done to raise the level of achievement in those schools.
And they always say it's kind of a money issue. We're not putting the money into those schools, but the money gets spread around.
The money does get spread around. Problem is not money. The problem is not money.
Amen. I applaud you for that one.
The problem is expectations.
Don't throw money at something.
And if you throw money at something, you're wasting your money.
Yes.
I mean, just unless you target the money to the problem, you're not going to fix the problem.
Absolutely.
I'm very thankful that it seems like for the first time in my involvement, we are really looking at the fact that everybody agrees there is a problem. If you don't know that there's a problem, you can't fix it. But at this point now, I think everybody understands and agrees that we do have a problem. All the legislature, both sides.
And to put a few things to rest, you do support law enforcement. I've known you, and I've known the fact that you've supported law enforcement.
So Jack, one of the first things I did before I was even elected, October of 2019, I did a ride-along with the Montgomery Police Department. And that was very fascinating. One of the first things I learned was they deal so much with mental health problems.
Right.
Out on the streets on a Saturday night with people that are having a mental health breakdown. So that's something that I really learned. One thing that we can do to support law enforcement is to provide more resources for mental health. So I've always been I was endorsed by the Fraternal Order of Police. I'm also a big supporter of making sure that our prisoners have access to resources. They can get a degree
Absolutely.
or a GED.
Absolutely.
So that's another thing that I've
Great.
Supported.
Okay, before we close out, obviously we're about 3 weeks away. If people need more information on you, tell them how they need to get a hold of you.
We have Facebook, we have Instagram and
Okay.
Twitter. You can Google Rep Charlotte Meadows and get any of those. We also have a website,
And please, we're going to put your phone number on the screen here.
Please.
Call her up. She will talk to you. Okay.
You want me to give it to you, or do you want to?
No,
just
we're
put it
gonna
on
we're
the
gonna
screen?
have it
Okay.
there. We'll put it on there. You'll be
Okay.
all set, okay? And just remember this: it's your obligation to vote,
Yes.
and it's also your obligation to make sure you do your homework and find out that the representative represents you. And we'll be right back right after this.